Hey, Winjet TV, it's Kulas. I'm on Winjet TV. Oh my gosh, yes! It's the best thing ever! Hey, Winjet.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Subscribe, take care, be happy, share good vibes.
Bye-bye. Hello everyone, good morning mga iyan, mga ate o kuya. Papasok na tayo dito sa Grand Kitchen kasi ay, i-meet natin si Kulas. Saan bang entrance? Okay.
Just fall in line and then I will
Yan, dito tayo ngayon sa loob ng Grand Kitchen. Makita natin ngayon si Kulas. Meet and greet kay Kulas, Bikaning Pilipino dito sa Grand Kitchen. Kitayin natin ngayon. Pork barbecue.
Mike Nas. Basta. Pwede ba? Naga. Okay. As soon as somebody says bye. Picture. That's the easiest way to know somebody's beside. Bye.
Bye.
Just a minute.
Oo, taga-Comox eh.
Nakikita nyo medyo nervyosa. But yes, so your presence is truly appreciated.
Gabrihan, ma'am.
Thank you so much for coming. I would also like to extend our gratitude to Miss Berna and Miss Bing for allowing us to host this event in Grand Kitchen. Miss Berna and Miss Bing, where are you at? Busy. Oh, they're busy. They're outside. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you. As well as for the servers who will be serving us today, let's give them a round of applause as well. So moving on, for everyone present today, I would like to inform you that this event is split into 3 batches. So you guys will be the first batch from 1 to 3 p.m. You get a chance to have lunch with Kulas. We will be also doing a photo op after around 2 p.m. And in order to accommodate all his supporters, there will be the next batches that will be coming around 3 to 4, and later for dinner, early dinner 4 to 6. By 2 p.m., we will be calling each one for a turn to do a photo op with him and Therine. And then I would like to respectfully remind everyone to be considerate and mindful of allowing each one to have a turn. Now that I share the flow and expectations of the program, let's warm up muna. I think I need to warm up as well. So if I say super, you say up here.
Oh my gosh.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Super. Up here. Super. Up here. Last one. Super. Up here. Thank you. I will now pass on the floor to Kulas and Therine for the question and answer portion. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. Get to know them better. Thank you.
Thank you. Dagat salamat. Maraming salamat. Cool. I like this. This is really structured. First of all, everybody palakpak. Thanks for coming in an hour with everybody and have lunch and talk about life, but it's just impossible. So being able to do this and bring everybody together and then just to interact, and I hope it's just about sharing good vibes and learning and talking about the Philippines in a positive way. That's one thing I think is so important and so beautiful, is for those of us, I know you're kabayan, so for those of us who are Filipino around the world, it really makes a huge difference when we do things like this. Just talk about the country, share good vibes, and educate other people in a positive way about it, because it can inspire them. And like my life, I wouldn't have ever gone to the country if it wasn't for OFWs in Hong Kong who were like super cool and patak on the weekends with me and talking about the Philippines in a good way. So yeah, thank you for coming out. I guess this is Q&A, you said. So I guess for the first part, if anybody here has any questions about anything, If it, well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Not yet. Hint time. We're not. I guess what we can do is you could just kind of put your hand up, not yet, and we'll just pick people. And here's the thing. My life is pretty much an open book. And would you agree, Therine? But if it's something we don't want to answer, we'll just, do the diversion answer. We won't give you all the details. But I encourage you, if there's anything you've seen on Facebook or YouTube or in the real world that you want to know more about, just ask. So why don't we start this? Do you want to go ahead, Kuya? Cool. I don't know if we have... Yeah. I'll repeat your question. So we... Oh, cool. Okay, this is the question was, a lot of the vlogs and videos we see are super positive. What's the sketchiest thing that's ever happened? You know what? Before... No, that's cool. I like it. I'll put it... Basically, it's true. I share a lot of positive stuff about the Philippines. And that's actually because it exists and it's real. Is there a lot of difficult stuff? Absolutely. Now, sketchy. What's interesting, prior to the Philippines, I had traveled quite a bit. I was never a vlogger or blogger. So I had been, though, to 29 countries. I went to India twice. I drove a rickshaw across India, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, worked in Malaysia a bit, Eastern Europe, went into Morocco. But I never vlogged or blogged. It was just traveling. And everywhere I went, I also experienced sketchy things. So when I lived in Britain, for example, I was walking down the street at 1:30 in the morning and somebody jumped up behind me and was like, "Hey, what's your accent?" I'm like, Canadian, and like, "No, you're was it Scottish or Irish?" I was like, Canadian, and then they started beating me up on the street, and my friends had to help me, Or when I was in Indonesia, my good friend, and she had her bag snatched, and it was stolen right in front of us, violently on the street. But here's the thing: when I lived in Britain, I loved it. Britain was awesome too, and I like to share a lot of the good stuff. So in the Philippines, have I had little things happen? Yes, 2013, before I vlogged or blogged, I jumped on a jeepney in Cebu, and I was sitting there, and then 4 guys jumped on, and they looked a bit lasing, a little bit hobog, a bit drunk, and they started squeezing up next to me, and kind of pushing up, and luckily, because of my street sense, I put my hand on my wallet, like this, and then sure enough, I felt their hand, and they tried to pickpocket me. Luckily, I went, "Oh, samok!" Because that's one of the few words I knew, which was annoying. Like, I was kind of shocked, and they freaked out that the Caucasian guy said samok, and they kind of like hobog and ran off the jeepney. I've had little things happen, or I've had instances where maybe some stuff could have been stolen, or at one point I've seen, I've seen a truck burning before. But again, everywhere you go in the world, negative, bad things happen. So what's important is how we can respond to them in a positive way and try and fight back with good things. So that's why I project a lot of positive stuff. And I'm trying more and more, though, to make sure I always remind people to be aware, though, that there are sketchy or negative things that happen. So you can put your hand up if you have a question at the back, too. If anybody wants to know anything or has an interesting question, don't be shy. Or anybody, you can ask anything. You'd be like, "Does Therine like you? What's your favorite food?" Go ahead, Tina.
Okay, every almost 2 years we go to the Philippines. Same as you said, it's beautiful Philippines, right? So, in case we've been already to Davao, but since you are now in Davao, you invited me before for CDO. You're not there anymore. So, are we allowed at least to drop by?
Okay.
In Katil?
So,
not to stay there.
Yes. The question was, hey Kulas, I'm sure a lot of you would see that we have a beach house in A.K.A. in Davao Oriental. It's very public. Now, the interesting thing, my life, especially this past year, you may have noticed, I move around a lot. So one day I'm in Luzon for a week doing an event, then I'm on a scooter for 3 weeks, then maybe me and Therine are doing something, but I do go back home often. Sometimes people come to our fence, this happens quite often, and they go, "Ayo, tao po." And as long as I'm not ill or sick, I always will try to come out and say hey and hang out. If people message in advance on my page, as long as I get back to you, I mean, of course, I'd like to, you know, show you the beach, say hey. The only thing I try not to do is if sometimes we do bring people in to take a look at the house, but I try not to publicize it, or I try not to allow people to vlog it, because what happens is if I do it for you and you vlog about it, then the next person goes, oh, I can do that. And then what happens is, don't get me wrong, I mean, I go around and video things of other people's lives, right? So I have to totally respect that my life too deserves to, if you want to hang out, sure, and I'm there and we're rock on. But we just try and, you know, keep it chill. But if you'd like to come to Katil, or you have any questions about it too, or you maybe want to see our place a bit, just message us in advance. And if I'm there and if I'm not ill, I'll try my best to let people come say hey. And if not too, there's a lot of great places nearby, and you'll probably, you know, see me around, and of course I'll come say hey and bring you around the beach, or just depends. The hard part again is, you know, imagine we're getting married, and then, you know, I have my life and I'm doing my thing that I wish I could accommodate everybody, but I can't. I can't physically do it, so, but I'll try my best to, just message, always message. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any sponsorships?
Oh, cool. Okay, cool question. You might notice he asked, do you have any sponsorships? So, if you look at my content on the internet, you might notice it's pretty lacks a lot of businessy stuff, right? Like, I don't really put in businessy hashtags. I don't be like, hey, Canada Dry, let's go, have a drink, guys. Use the Kulas code and get one free, you know? Which is nothing wrong with that. If it's something I love, in the past, you know, we've done OFW events with Cebu Pacific. I've done a little bit with Happy Toothpaste. I've done things with different companies. I've had really great, you know, hangouts or events. The past 3 years, I don't think I've done anything businessy. Most of my income does come from the internet, and that's just magic internet money. It's not, you know, companies are not paying me to say what I say on YouTube. I think all of my videos, maybe one of the past 3 years, I just made them because that's what's important to me. And I show what I feel like I want to show. Sometimes it's very raw and I think boring. Sometimes it's like super adventurous. Sometimes I try to do better things with camera or with Kumar, the guys, with Therine. And then sometimes, like here in Canada, I'm not focused on making videos. I'm focused on seeing my family. You know, maybe hanging out with you guys now. So I don't want to just be like, I gotta vlog this hangout now. I must focus on vlogging because I want to be present. So yeah, but to answer your question, will I do sponsors in the future? I'm sure, absolutely. But my one rule is, as Therine would know very well, it has to be real. So, give you an example. I don't predict this will happen, but every now and again, maybe in a scooter trip adventure, you might see me buy a coffee at like 7-Eleven and put a Chucky hot, like chocolate milk into it. Because I like doing that. So if Chucky comes up to me and goes, hey Kulas, will you do a deal with us and like do a little bit of business and make some content? Sure, because I like it and I use Chucky all the time. So I'll never lie to you guys on the internet if I'm doing something with a company. But I try to not do it often because my priority is just to show you what I'm, you know, the 4 reasons why I do what I do, which it'll take too long to explain, but basically just to be real on the internet and engage with you guys. So, and I know I'm very blessed now to be able to still earn an income. You know, I could potentially earn more, yes, but not earning more and just being real is what's important for me. So I'm just blessed to be able to even do what I do, that I try not to do many sponsors. Cool. Yeah.
Durian or lanzones?
Which one, Therine or Lanzones? Therine, do you wanna, what's your choice? I knew she was gonna say that. I think 100% Lanzones, but you know what? Like a cheeky durian every now and again, you know, when you're just randomly craving it. I think if it's been like 6 months I haven't had a durian, I think I might be like, but the problem is maybe only 1 or 2 pieces. Because if you eat more, you get in Visaya we say, "Pano, man, like, this stinks." Although I like the smell of durian, that's not a lie. Like you put a durian in a car, Fine with me. A.K.A. And just put your hand up. Does anybody like durian? Like the smell? How about the smell? Does anybody like the smell? Yes. We'll get along. Good. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. My top fruit. What's your favorite fruit? Do you think in the Philippines? Your favorite? Therine, like mangoes and jackfruit for Therine, and mangosteen. Anything else? For me, it's rambutan, lanzones, mangosteen, and even marang. Is anybody from Luzon? Put your hand up if you're from Luzon. I don't know if you have many marang in Luzon. It's kind of like a Mindanao thing. It's almost like a carpet. You touch the side, it's like a carpet, and you rip it open. Good question. Any questions at the back? Anybody at the back have anything they want to ask, or? Oh, one sec, I'll just double check that nobody... Anybody in the back want to know anything? Ask anything? Oh, yeah, ask. I'll come 1 second, I'll run back and listen to it. Find out this question. Hey, so this is... Alright, go for it, ask anything.
No microphone.
Okay, cool. Interesting question. All right, the question was, how much of a problem is it being famous? Are there like stalkers, haters? Okay, I feel super blessed because, and I think it's because I've been as real as I can since the beginning. So what you see on the internet, I like to believe, if you hung out with me in the real world, you just see the same thing, which is me. So I feel lucky that, I don't like using the term famous, but I guess a lot of people would recognize me. But I'm lucky because when they recognize me, when I bump into somebody in Vancouver who's like, hey Kulas, or when I'm in Manila in the airport, hey Kulas, they treat me like a friend that they just know. And I realize when they interact with me that they do know me because I've shown myself. So it's a little bit easier because I don't feel the vibe like people here. I feel like you're not looking at me as like a famous artista. I feel like you're looking at me as a friend. And that makes it a bit easier because I don't feel like I have to change because I shouldn't. It's just me. So the tough part is, give me an example. When I went to A.K.A, it's a festival in Davao. First time I went, 2015. I walk down the street, I can watch the floats, I can take videos, pictures, I can stand there and enjoy it. Now, do I enjoy A.K.A? Sure. But if I go to A.K.A, as soon as I go in public, it's like, Kulas, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey, Kulas, come over here, what's going on? Which is amazing and inspiring, but the difficult part is I can't really film it, and I can't really enjoy the festival, but I do enjoy the interaction, and I know it's really, for me, it's what's most important is my interaction with people. So that's one of the tough things. Also, this might sound a bit weird, sometimes being known, like I guess probably anywhere in the world, you might have little like things happen. For example, I drive my scooter all over the Philippines. You wouldn't believe it how many times I pull into like a local carinderia. It's like a local business, and I just go there to eat, and I eat my food, and then afterwards the titas and the ates or the manongs are like, no, you're not paying Kulas, not for you. And I'm like, no, I am paying because you're like a local business, and this is only even a couple hundred pesos. Like, I'm definitely paying. People try and sometimes give me like perks at places, which is amazing, but I'd rather just support, you know? So, you know, if somebody was like, you get a better hotel room, well, that's cool, like, and I'm already paying for the hotel room, great. But if it's like a local business, sometimes it's a bit awkward for me because I like to just go out there and support, and I don't want people to think they have to treat me any different than how we treat each other. So I hope that answers the question. And it's also fun, there's a lot of perks, like in regards to, it's so cool to be able to put something on the internet and have a great community respond quickly and make a difference, or you know, or make an impact somewhere, or support a business, or connect like this. So there's a lot of perks, but That's about it. I'll stop there. I ramble. Any other questions at the back? Anybody? Anyone at the back? Any questions? I can come back again. At the front, anyone? Go.
How is Mama Rose?
Okay, excellent. So, Mama Rose is great. You actually, I know during the pandemic, I featured her a lot. Like I vlogged, and I really love to actually hang out with her. You just don't see it as much anymore. And that's because what I found too is that Mama Rose is wonderful, and I always try and take a quick clip with her every now and again just to make sure everybody knows she's okay, she's great. But I sometimes, after a while, you might see, like maybe you see me in videos with Kumar for a month straight, and then maybe you don't see him for a few months, or maybe you see me in Therine, and then a few months later, where is Therine? I try my best to diversify what I show people, because in the end, I'm only showing you a few percent of what is my whole life. And I know if I just kept going, like show Mama Rose every day in our interactions, then that's what you're gonna think my whole life is. And I have to try and, so she's great, she's healthy. Every time I go over there, she just is like smiling and bubbly and scolding me and talking about things very mother-like. But yeah, I mean, I think literally when I get back, me and Therine will hang out a bit. Then I gotta quickly go down to A.K.A while she goes to her business, and I'm sure I'll stop by and bring Mama Rose a passalubong, and she's doing great. She's fine. Seems very healthy, very motherly. Any questions? Anybody? Go. Oh, how did I meet Kumar? I think we went live at Via Hero during the pandemic to discuss this. My original barcada is OFWs in the outdoor industry. So what happened is Kumar is a rock climber who became one of the first raft guides when the rafting industry was put together in A.K.A and Dioro. How we met was actually just at a resta bar, you know, randomly with friends. And then what happened is I think when I decided to go around and start vlogging or blogging, I think my outdoor friends like Reina and Eric and my friends at Via Hero and my Manongs who do the rafting, I think they were also a bit nervous, like, our Canadian friend's gonna drive a scooter around, and I wanted to also use a camera, so I think they were like, Kumar, you have a background in this, you know, you're, what's it called in the university? It's like something tech, I don't know. Or something, he studied something at Xavier with a little bit of camera work and editing. He used to edit before. So I think they're like, Kumar, you go with this guy. And what happened is we did a small trip, maybe 2 days, and then it went really well. So we did another week, and the next thing you know, we're on a 35-day all over the place. And he's a cowboy, I'm a cowboy. We just clicked really well. And even to this day, you might notice he doesn't come as often with me anymore. And it's not because we're not supporting each other all the time. It's I also, like we talked about this even a few months ago, I was like, man, whatever you would like to do with your life too, aside from this, just let me know how I can support you. So he's trying to figure out other things as well that he's very passionate about, and I'm just here to support him. So yeah, that's how we met. Any other questions? Go.
Hi, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you again as well. I saw your message yesterday.
Yeah, it's so happy, and first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yes, because of the hype, I joined on Instagram and your post.
Yes.
So, you're engaged now.
Yeah, go.
Right?
Yeah.
And when and where are you planning the big day?
Okay, the question is about our engagement. So you would have seen, yes, I made it public yesterday. We are now engaged. There's a ring. There it is. The question was, where do we plan to do this? Now, yeah, we were discussing it, and we haven't, personally I believe that we'll get married in the Philippines. I think that's something we can agree on. Why don't you talk a bit, so you can... we haven't fully decided. I've been talking to her that maybe this next month we'll be discussing that more, and we're playing around with ideas, but I'm certain it will happen in the Philippines. But I've also, you know, we're open to ideas as well, and I've heard of people doing a wedding here, a wedding there, you know, a party here, I don't know, so, but I think the actual wedding will most likely be in the Philippines. we're just debating where, and yeah, but she's trying, talking about a summer thing, and
Well, the weather is good.
well, the weather is good, so yeah, we'll see. I will make sure to keep the internet updated, but I try. I think you'd agree. We try. Our lives are very public, especially my life. So I try to be a bit more mysterious about our relationship because it's just, I want everybody to stay focused on like Philippines, positive vibes, not like, ooh, what's the chismes in the relationship, right? So yeah, but I believe it will be in the Philippines. We're discussing. Thanks. Cool. Any other questions? You go.
Are your best man gonna be the Fire Boys?
You never know. I mean, those guys, if you remember the old Fighter Boys trips, Mike Corey just got an Emmy for doing, he does some wild stuff. He goes all around the world. Brett right now is back here in Canada, actually. We're in touch. Finn has a diving boat. So I'm sure there'll be invites and we'll get people together. One cool thing you might not see, because I don't share about it too often, but throughout the years too, even prior to being engaged, Therine has met a lot of my old friends too from Canada who came to visit me in the Philippines. And there's, I don't know. I always get worried about being stressed about things in life, so it might not be as, I don't know, be big. I don't know who'll be there yet, but there'll be a lot of good people there.
Your wedding time, right? Are you gonna wear a barong or barong?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I like barongs way better than suits, and that's not to bash suits. Suits are great, but man, they sweat in them, and you get the armpit sweat going. In a barong, when you sweat, it's just the undershirt that you can't see that catches it, and then it's airy. So I'm sure you'll see me in a barong. Go ahead.
Kind of a loaded question.
That's okay.
It's multifaceted.
Okay.
So I live in the countryside in Bohol.
Cool.
And so the internet connection in certain places is pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
So I've always said to my wife, the fastest way for a lot of these people to get out of poverty is just simply if you have a Wi-Fi. Because I'm paying a lot of money to people in India to do a lot of things for me online.
Yeah.
I said, oh snap, I wish I could be doing this more for people in the farms. So I talk to people like, oh, there's only 2 towers, sort of thing.
That's tough.
And so I'm thinking that somebody could like win a Nobel Peace Prize in the Philippines by saying we've got to make this Wi-Fi more accessible to people that are poor and get them out of poverty just with a connection.
You know what's been interesting? Being part of this internet universe for the past 10 years and my life being so intertwined into it. First and foremost, one thing, interesting fact, because if you saw, I do stuff with the DOST, Department of Science and Technology sometimes in their grind program. I'd like you to know too, I'm doing that not being paid to do it. I'm doing it because I believe in the program. So but what I learned through that was actually, have you heard of Peso Wi-Fi? So there's boxes now in the Philippines you can put in areas with no signal, and you put a peso in it, and it gives you Wi-Fi. And that was invented by a Filipino in Quiapo. And yeah, they're all over. If you haven't been back to the Philippines for a long time, Peso Wi-Fi is expanding everywhere. Is it the best? No, but it works in areas with nothing. Second response to that too, one thing I've learned over the past years too, seeing signal internet get a little bit better, it is true, it's a fabulous opportunity for people or Filipinos living in the Philippines to earn an income from outside of the country. I'll give you a case in point. I didn't know this until 3 years ago. My brother has an online company. I won't say which one, but he actually, I didn't know, he has hired a Filipino who lives in Dumaguete. It's one of his staff, he has many staff, and that he's paying that Filipino what I would consider a very good wage for being in the Philippines. And that Filipino is doing 20 hours of work for him every week and earning a wage that's great living in the Philippines. So because he is internet, so he's able to use his skills now using the internet in the country, like you said, and that changes his life. So
to that point, I'm paying people 20 Canadian in these
yeah,
areas.
20 Canadian dollars an hour.
Local,
yeah.
like yo.
That's a lot of money. That's that's fantastic wage in the Philippines. So yeah, to your question, to answer it, I think that's a great idea and concept, and I think that it's exciting.
the fuller question I didn't quite get out is that I think as you get more popular and exert more influence as you get older, did you ever think of maybe talking to people in power to drive home this issue?
Cool question. He's asking, when you get older and maybe more involved, like, are you going to get more involved in possibly talking to people, or I guess you could say even like creating a company or trying to... So I think this will be the next unique stage of my life. For now, I'm still, of course, always and probably forever going to be doing what I can to share positive education, and you'll see me adventuring. But I'm definitely, now that my life is settled in regards to I'm a Filipino citizen, there is a lot of opportunity for me to try and take the next step to maybe have a bigger impact and possibly do something. I always thought about creating something, or whether it's an NGO or a company, or definitely in the back of my mind. But as you see in my post, one day at a time. And what I've learned can be very positive is not to rush it. If I'm gonna do something, I want to make sure I'm ready and I understand why I'm doing it. It's like becoming Filipino. The first year of my life in the Philippines, 2013, it doesn't exist on the internet because I wasn't vlogging or blogging. I knew when I started it why I wanted to do it, what my purposes were, what I was gonna do, and I believe that's what made my life grow as it has over the 10 years. So yeah, I think there'll be things in the future. I have ideas, but I'm not sure yet what it would be. Cool. Anything at the back? Yeah, how's it going? Are we just waving, or do you have a question? Or... Oh, cool. I'm coming back there. I'm coming back. Would you like a Therine? You never know. I mean, those guys, if you remember the old Fighter Boys trips, Mike Corey just got an Emmy for doing, he does some wild stuff moving around the world. Be a case in point, I didn't know this until 3 years ago. My brother has an online company. I won't say which one, but he actually, I didn't know, he has hired a Filipino who lives in Dumaguete. It's one of his staff, he has many staff. And that he's paying that Filipino what I would consider a very good wage for being in the Philippines. And that Filipino is doing 20 hours of work for him every week and earning a wage that's great living in the Philippines. So because he has internet, so he's able to use his skills now using the internet in the country, like you said, and that changes his life. So cool question. He's asking, when you get older and maybe more involved, like, are you going to get more involved in possibly talking to people, or I guess you could say even like creating a company or trying to... So I think this will be the next unique jersey. And right away, I think the biggest thing, still to this day, is just the ability of people to find happiness and not be afraid to be happy and share about it. It sounds it can sound very corny, like, oh, happiness, but I think it's something that's so important regardless where you are in the world. And Filipinos have this very deep-rooted, I would believe, ability to find that. I could tell you all sorts of stories of good times, bad times, ways, but I've written about them before and I'll share more in the future. But that single thing, I used to have a smile sign long time ago. If you followed me, I used to have a smile sign. I framed the first one, and that was inspired by that. And all the other things like the adaptability, the ingenuity, just the attitude, these kind of things compounded after. And then the things I enjoyed and the foods I liked and the camaraderie, but it was really just down to happiness. And the coolest thing ever, you may have seen in the past, I did post a photo before with the Canadian ambassador to the Philippines. I remember we had a meal with him a while back, and he said the same thing. He's like, you know what, it's just really amazing how people here, can just share this positive attitude. And I think it's so nice to hear other people see that, and then we think about it, and I think when you apply it to your life, it makes you a better person. So just that, and don't get me wrong, are there like Do people feel bad in the Philippines too? Yes. But do they find ways to be happy? Yes, and so that's cool. All right. Any other questions? Anything? Anyone? Want to hear me sing something? A lot of people see that I'm a little bit heavier in Mindanao. And that's not because I don't appreciate all my experiences all over the country, but I certainly have become even more so inspired over the years, being kind of, my home base in Mindanao, because of the way it is viewed by a lot of both foreigners and Filipinos, especially. I think it's changing now, and I think because of social media and interaction, and even because of peace and order, things are getting better. Yeah, so for me, memorable would probably just be being anywhere in Mindanao or back when I grew up in A.K.A and even now being on the beach. But literally, so many memorable experiences. Even I'm trying to think. I've just done a lot. I've been everywhere. Yeah, that's true. Even before social media, the actual first time that I ever picked up a camera to make a video clip, and I think what drove me to realize the power of showing people things was when Typhoon Yolanda hit. I used to work with Filipinos in Hong Kong. One of our work colleagues was a friend of our outdoor community, Jason Garrido. He's a Waray from Tacloban, and we didn't know if he was alive, what happened. And I went in with some friends from the outdoor community in A.K.A. to Tacloban, and I remember being very overwhelmed. And what happened is during that time, I didn't know what I could do to try and make some sort of simple positive impact. And that's why I started taking little clips and just shouting at the camera like, hey, this is what we're doing, we're trying to help out this area, this community, and this is what's happened. And even back then, I didn't have a page or followers or anything, but even my own friends who were from Canada were looking at it and asking, hey, this is not good, how can we get involved or make a positive impact? So I think that was very memorable, being in Tacloban during what was a very horrible time, and it kind of made me realize the value of sharing simple positive things, even in very difficult situations or just in general, and how people can connect with it. So that's another reason too, I always take photos and write stuff. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's emo, but I always try and take video clips, at least of something that surrounds what you're seeing me write about, so you know it's real. That was another reason why I always tried to take video, because I was like, maybe they won't believe me if they just see a picture, so I guess I gotta make videos, but that was very memorable. Any other questions? This is cool, I like it. It's like, yes?
How's
Commander Dawit sent me, put your hand up if you know of Commander Dawit, Anselm, the Welsh guy.
Yeah.
Okay, he sent me a photo at my house yesterday, having a beer. So he's good. And he literally, word for word, I could read you the message. He says, hey, I'm gonna use your desk to edit tonight. I was like, well, I can't say no, you're there. So he's good and he's doing his thing. And I think like everybody you might see me interact with sometimes, or I show you on video, everybody also has their own lives and things they're pursuing. And I promise you this, just because you might not see them for a while and me showing them, they're all actively doing things and we're all actively trying to support each other. So he's good, he's trying to do calamansi farming. And I think it's gonna work. I'm praying it's gonna work because he deserves it. So he's working hard, and if he does, I'm gonna be the first guy to buy a bag of his calamansi if he goes to. So he's good. He's good.
Kapitbahay mo na naman yun?
Any other questions?
How many hours a week do you edit?
Oh, cool. Okay, how long do I edit for? Just a simple thing. So my life and my internet stuff, anything you ever see on anything becoming Filipino, I am the only person with access. It is me. It is 100% me. Nobody even has any access to it, not even Therine, no one, because it has to be, in my opinion, because it's real and it's my life. Could I get people to share things or respond to people? Yes. But I think it's more important, even if I don't have the ability personally to do it, that it's me. It varies. So if I edit a vlog now, if I chose to vlog, if I woke up today and was like, I'm gonna vlog today, and the whole day is gonna be one vlog, what happens is, as I'm living my day, because I've been doing this for 10 years, I just naturally understand what I need to take a clip of or when I need to talk. You'll notice I don't use voiceover, I just share. That's because I just want it to be free flow, what happens me. But at the end of the day, I probably have to spend about 3.5 hours editing to finalize it and get it up online. It used to be 6 hours, 8 hours. My first video took me 3 days. You know, if you're ever making things, as you do it more, you become more efficient. So
Just practice speaks first.
yeah, and when I'm in Canada, if you look at my videos, they're very raw, very simple, just my phone, because I'm not prioritizing vlogging here. I'm prioritizing Therine, being with my family, me seeing my uncle, me hanging out with my brother, me being here with you guys. I try to take little clips, but I don't spend as much time, quote unquote, working on editing and stuff. But yeah, maybe 3.5 hours.
Kasi man ang salita nyo.
I just use iMovie. I don't know if you saw before, I did like a Power Mac talk, or I had like a hangout once in Makati where I did a thing for Power Mac, because all I use is Mac products. I have for 10 years, so if Power Mac's like, hey Kulas, can we do a deal where you come do a speech and we'll help you with your iPhone or whatever? Absolutely, because that's what I use and that's what's real. So yeah, I use iMovie and my phone and a MacBook, yeah, for everything.
How many hard drives full?
Wait, I have a ton of hard drives. They're just, and I hope they don't break. I need to back them up. Maybe 20. I think I have 20 hard drives on my desk in Cantillo. They're all 1 or 2 terabytes. Okay, I've got 1 minute for Q&A. Anybody else? One final question? Anything? Yeah, go ahead.
Knowing you travel a lot and you do lots of vlogging, how did you win Therine's heart?
Yeah, I don't know. Good question. She says, knowing you travel a lot and you do a lot of things vlogging, how is? I think you were asking how is Therine still here? No, I think one of the nicest, it's a little bit. One of the really wonderful things, and what a lot of people might not know, is me and Therine in 2016 when we met each other. She comes from a TV production background. She used to work doing like teleseries production. And also, she saw my life prior to us dating. We worked together on this little block timer thing for ANC. And she kind of understands, even before we started officially dating, she knows who I am, what I do, what I'm passionate about. We discussed, well, she would see all these things and we'd interact even prior to getting involved in a relationship. So I like to believe that possibly, I mean, you can answer the question if you want. Okay, she doesn't want to, but basically I think it's because we knew each other prior to getting involved the way we are. And I like to believe that, yeah, maybe I waited almost a bit too long, but I think that's why we're still here and going strong, is that we understand what we do. It's like our social enterprise. She's so busy, like even now has to get on her phone, deal with the community and things. It's almost worked to our advantage because I can go out on a scooter trip for 2 weeks. She's heavily into her business, and then we convince each other, well, just disconnect for a few days, let's go and hang out. And we're discussing, how this will work in the future, and we already talked about it before getting engaged, so. But yeah, I think I'm just lucky, basically. She's very supportive, and I try my best to be as supportive as I can too.
I just want to follow up on that. When I saw that you got married.
Engaged.
Sorry, engaged. Yeah. First thing I told my wife, well, no, when I saw that you were boyfriend, girlfriend, I said, pick the good one because she's so busy, right? Right?
You know what? Having your own passions definitely helps.
Well, because it's like exactly like you're doing things.
But I'll tell you right now, I am definitely not one to be a relationship counselor or anything. It's like, we have our problems too, right? But yeah, basically I'm just really fortunate. And thank you everybody too for being so respectful over the years. Anybody who's engaged online. One thing, I always never talk much about our relationship on the internet because, sometimes even in YouTube videos, people will comment things and I don't, as long as it's 99% positive, I don't care. But it hurts when you read something weird. So if Therine reads it, it's not nice. So that's why we don't want people saying weird things about our relationship that might not be true, so that's why we stay away from the, that kind of stuff. But
Don't want to be toxic.
Yeah, I try not to be, but it's again though. But then there's a flip side. For example, I posted we were engaged yesterday, and it's like so much love. You know, everyone's like, yeah, woo, cool, awesome. So it also there's a flip side to. At last, yeah, you know. But that's life.
You told me any relationship compromise.
I remember Tita. I remember. I love it.
From you. Yes, it is. You know, my husband who is rich,
Yeah.
no cash. We compromise. We eat always now rice.
Hey, way to go! Give him a hand. Palapa. Eating rice. By the way, I made a mistake in Comox because my parents they made like wild Canadian rice, and I was like, I think I even put in my post. I was like, yeah, Filipinos in Canada are gonna be stoked, and everyone's like, dude, that's not white rice. It's like some sort of weird grain. Like we don't really like that. I was like, oh no, messed up there. By the way, when it comes to rice, I do love rice. Hey, how's it going? I do love rice, but I'm also realistic that I eat a lot. Okay, and like I'm always when I'm adventuring, people are like, eat this thing, try this thing, and I want to because I want to experience it and show it. So I don't eat much rice because I know if I do, I'm probably gonna be gaining a lot of weight very fast. So I just try and it's like my maintenance to not eat as much. But Therine loves rice too, and she scolds me if I don't eat rice. So let's see. Cool. All right, thank you. Oh, one more. Go ahead quickly.
You may or you may not answer the question. You know your friends, Kulas, Jandy, and the rest of the guys in Teal. Do they have a salary?
Oh, cool. Okay. The question was like, do the guys like when you're in Catillo, do they have a salary? The answer is always support each other, right? So behind the scenes, we're supporting each other, and that's what I'll say. Is that it was even for our friends in the Philippines. They'd always wonder like, what do you guys do? And me and Kumar and Jandi and all these guys, we just kind of keep it between ourselves and we just support each other. Even now, if you don't see them and if Jandi's doing his own thing, we're interacting all the time and we support each other. But do know that whenever blessings do come my way, even you guys like giving us things here, whenever people are giving me things, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, gotta pay it forward. And I don't show it much on the internet, but I promise you that just, you know, spontaneously, as I go about and adventure and things, I'm trying my best to pay it forward and give back, both in my friend groups and just spontaneously. I just try not to, I don't want my content in life to become something like that. So I just do it, you know, inspired by you guys and quietly on the side. But we support each other.
Thank you, Kulas. Thank you everyone for participating. So before we welcome the next batch, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to take a photo opportunity with the two. So what we'll do is we'll start off with those who have finished their meals before they go and we welcome the other batch in, okay? So I see, are you guys ready for your photos? Yeah? So I'll get you guys to come up and have a photo with Kulas.
It's the best thing ever! Hey, Winjet. Take care. Subscribe, take care, be happy, share good vibes. Bye-bye.
Ayan, o. Tara! Ayan mga ate at kuya, natapos na natin ang meet and greet Kulas and Therine dito sa may Grand Kitchen. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong panonood. Gusto ko, happy ka. Bye-bye!
Hey, Winjet TV, it's Kulas. I'm on Winjet TV. Oh my gosh, yes! It's the best thing ever! Hey, Winjet.
Bye-bye!
Take care. Subscribe, take care, be happy, share good vibes.
Bye-bye!